The clock is ticking for Billy Bishop to build safety areas at the end of the runways to protect passenger safety. City Council's on board with that, but what's unclear is if the city will approve an extension to how long the airport can be on the island. And that could mean turbulence. It's last call to get on board with having an airport on Toronto Island. That's the message from executives with Ports Toronto and the company that operates the Billy Bishop Terminal.
It's a landmass extension. It is not a runway extension.
Ports Toronto, a federal agency, is part of a complicated three-party agreement that governs the use of the island airport. The federal government and the City of Toronto are the other two. That deal expires in 2033, but there's a more looming deadline. The Air France accident at Pearson Airport in 2005, where a jet overshot the runway, spurred aviation officials to change airport regulations to allow for an emergency area at the end of runways. Billy Bishop has until 2027 to build these areas at a cost of millions. Without them, the airport can't operate. Ports Toronto says they will be impossible to build without a guarantee that the airport will continue to exist.
We need to see a term extension to provide certainty for anyone that is going to lend money into this project.
For the Toronto councillor who represents the area that contains Billy Bishop, things are not so simple. Ozma Malik says the city can vote to allow the runway safety areas and not tackle the issue of how long the current deal lasts.
When City Council votes this week, if it doesn't change the term, does it understand that it may be ending the life of an island airport in Toronto?
The City of Toronto and the proposal that we have in front of us from staff is allowing the safety obligation that Transport Canada requires to be met in the time frame that it requires, and to ensure that we are engaging in a process for the long-term and future operations of the airport.
If you're talking about term, then we're talking about the usage of this land for longer than is agreed upon now, and that opens up a lot of issues.
Well, I mean, certainly there are discussions, and we've been engaging with our community members. We've been following a process to ensure that we do this in the right manner.
As the deadline to build the runway safety areas approaches, the decision time about the future of an island airport may be here ahead of schedule. Alan Carter, City News.